Canada's K-shaped economy is absolutely shit. The gap between the rich and the poor is the worst it has ever been. So what other shapes should Canada be aiming for? There is the diamond-shaped economy, which is really the ideal. This is what most developed countries aimed for in the post-war period and what the Nordic countries still approximate today. In the diamond-shaped economy, you have a large, prosperous middle class down the center, and you have smaller groups of very wealthy and very poor people at the extremes. Norway is a great example of this. They have shown that it is possible to have substantial welfare support, which protects the floor for people, within a prosperous capitalist country. Here's another shape Canada should aim for. The egg-shaped economy is not as good as the diamond, but it is definitely better than the K-shaped economy. In the egg-shaped economy, you have a slightly wider middle class with a modest bulge towards the lower middle. So you have a lot more poor people than in the diamond-shaped economy. That is roughly where Canada was in the 1970s to 1990s. We were not as equal as the Nordic diamond, but we had enough of a middle class to sustain demand and democratic norms. Today, many economists argue that this is the realistic near-term target for Canada. But how did Norway and the Nordic countries create this beautiful economy that works for the 90%? I'll tell you more about that in my next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you next time. Take care, you guys.